Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Oops, let me turn this up just a little bit. There we go. The First of all, Rumpus, if you would have read above, I said I was going to need about an extra 10 minutes. um, I watched a couple of videos today, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is that the the Oakley crew is trying to do as far as these mountain observations. And well, what they seem to be confused on is that you can't mix formulas. Okay, you really can't. In other words, you now what I have up here, I had put this out on the first Hillbonio video a while back, and it's a riddle that's intended to show you what happens when you try and put two formulas together at the same time and expect one result, and it doesn't work that way. Okay. Now I'm just going to play this real quick. I hope it'll work out as far as the audio goes, but because I still haven't mastered voice meter, so I'm just going to be doing a microphone here, and we'll see what we can get out of this. Okay. So I'm going to play this real quick first. It's the whole reason why all of their stuff is screwed up. Halasia. And maybe this will shed some light on it. So let me go ahead and try this here. Oops, I got to take my headphones out. Three college students come into the city. There's a big rock and roll concert, and they're going to go see the concert, and they don't want to drive all the way home, so they're going to crash overnight in a hotel. So they went around town, and they found themselves a cheap motel. The three students walked in, wanted a room for the night. The clerk said, no problem, $30 for the night. The three students, each one of them had... Wait a minute. Why is the video itself not going? Hold on. Let me open that back up. Sorry. Some reason the video isn't working. It might have to do with the fact that it won't play the QuickTime, I guess, while I'm doing that. Hold on a second. Let's see. And Bonio final. Let's see if that was the reason. Hold on a second. Yeah, now it's showing it. Okay, so it's gonna go by kind of quick, but just listen to it. I just have a graphic to it. This was something that I had done a while back. All right, three college students come into the city. There's a big rock and roll concert, and they're going to go see the concert, and they don't want to drive all the way home, so they're going to crash overnight in a hotel. So they went around town, and they found themselves a cheap motel. The three students walked in, wanted a room for the night. The clerk said, no problem, $30 for the night. The three students, each one of them handed over $10, and they paid for the room. The clerk takes the money, gives them their key, and off they went. Now, a couple of minutes later, the clerk realized he made a mistake because they were college students. They were supposed to get a student discount. The student discount on the room was $5. So the clerk calls over one of the housekeepers, gives the housekeeper the $5, and says, bring this up to the room with those three students in it. Give them this back because I overcharged them for the room. Housekeeper takes the $5 and heads on up. On the way up, the housekeeper starts to thinking, says, how am I going to divide this $5 up between the three students? So the housekeeper makes a decision, says, well, how about this? With that $5, I'll split it into 3 and 2. The $3, I will give $1 each back to each of the students as their student discount, and the remaining $2 I will stick in my pocket because they're probably going to trash the room and they're most likely not going to leave a tip. So the housekeeper goes up, knocks on the door, students come to the door, and he gives over $1 to each of the students. Now, originally, each one of the students paid $10 for the room, came out to $30. But now the housekeeper gave them each $1 back. And now they've only paid $9. 9 times 3 is 27. Well, the housekeeper only kept $2. So 27 plus 2 is 29. Where's the last dollar? Now, if you... Okay. So, as I can see in the chat here, some people have heard that riddle before. And it's actually called the missing dollar riddle. And what it reminds you is that you're not supposed to mix formulas and then try and get, mix two different formulas and try and get one result and get them to match. It's not going to do that, especially if you are just mixing things that are not really compatible with each other. Now, what I found out today, I was bored, and while I was sitting in front of my computer at lunch, and what? Oops, so sorry about that. Now, what I got here is in the video that was put out by Ranty Flat Earth. Now, Ranty said he would love to debate me or discuss with me about what's going on with the Pikes Peak observation, because he says that Riley's got it all wrong. But when I offered a time to him, he never came back and answered. So go figure on that. And obviously, Riley used the same diagram. These are both diagram from Conspiracy Cats under his Baldy Cats channel. Now, what they were trying to what Conspiracy Cats was doing was he was trying to show this was just a discussion about angular size and why it is that Mount Rainier would always appear higher than Mount St. Helens when viewed across a plane. That's all he was doing. He was doing that by using angular size. That's all. And so apparently, both Ranty and Riley have both decided that that means that for some reason you can raise the surface of the Earth to get some kind of a modified version of the result of what you should see in a curve calc, which is just totally screwed up. You see, the problem is, and I already showed everybody this. This was something I was working on. I don't know if these are still I don't know if these are the correct numbers right now, because I remember I was messing with this. But basically, what it is that when you are at eye level with something across a plane, there's going to be a degrees below eye level and a degrees above eye level. And that's all a Conspiracy Cats was showing. Was he was showing what eye level would be across a plane, and then the heights, just using a right triangle to get the degrees above eye level for each one of the two mountains. Now, for some reason, they've tried to apply this to the discussion on the Pikes Peak footage, where it just really doesn't even have a place, because it was about comparing two mountaintops, not about raising the ground. Okay, so it's just it's totally crap what they were doing, and so obviously you're going to get messed up results when you try and apply those things to a curve calc. Now, I don't know how many times I have to show this, but I'm just going to show it again. Whoops. Okay, these are the models that I was working with on with Riley the other night, and I'm starting to believe that the call that he got and was being annoyed with on Skype was most likely well, it was quite possibly. I'm just going to say quite possibly because I don't know, but it was quite possibly somebody like Nathan Oakley, who last time Riley was about to say something that actually supported the globe. Nathan Oakley shut him down, as in told him to stop talking about it. It had something to do with a lighthouse or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But if you could find that on Cat Earther's website, channel, and he did a little video showing that, because it was the information in the Skype chat in the background, and but they keep on wanting to talk about hold on a second. They keep on wanting to talk about, well, at least Ranty went into it. They want to talk about the elevation chart. Okay. I did that. I did a truncated version of this in 3ds Max. Now, I just want to show you this real quick here. Thanks to the line that he drew here, you can see that for about half the way, the ground is actually lower than the observer. Okay, it makes this kind of swell right here. And and then only after that does it start going up. Well, by that time, as he has here, it's showing that the increase in altitude occurs, but only at a certain area beyond the halfway point of the image. Now, what I had done This line right here, the one I just highlighted, okay, I had done exactly that. I just took 4 of the major points, okay, where it went down, and then when it went back up again, and then the slope going up the up that larger mountain or mountain group in front of Pikes Peak. Then it goes down again, and then it goes obviously up to Pikes Peak. It was pretty simple to do. I didn't want to go in through the trouble of actually, outlining every last little bit of this. Okay, but I put it in there, and to find out what it was that was actually obscuring the view of Pikes Peak. And as it turned out, the bottom portion of what's actually obscuring Pikes Peak is happening right here. This is only about, let me go ahead and get a tape out real quick. It's just a little bit short of the halfway point between the observer and Pikes Peak itself. Now, let me go ahead and put this here, and I had even shown this live using the camera's line of sight as the measurer, or excuse me, as the tangent, and that is at about okay because in let's see here, it's about 96 kilometers away, and that's the part. There's a hill that appears to be in front of it, and or ground level that appears to be in front of it, and that's what that is. And then beyond that, okay, you will see a hill, which is obviously this larger bulge here. Okay, and that bulge that you're looking at there, um, let's see here. I'm gonna put this there. Is actually, hold on, is at come on, is actually 96 kilometers away. Wait, that's not right. 181 kilometers away. Excuse me, it didn't refresh. Um, so what they keep on doing is they keep on trying to say, there's a new hidden height now because they raised the ground, they raised the ground level in the Earth curve calculator, and so therefore set their eye level to 0. Well, if you set your eye level to 0, just about everything that falls below you is going to be counted as hidden. But that's not the case in this situation. Okay, it's not. You can't just kind of modify, where sea level is and all this, and then modify the heights of things and claim some kind of, I don't know, some kind of honest answer. It just doesn't work that way. Okay, you have to use the numbers as they are. Otherwise, you're misusing the tool, and therefore you're going to get false results. And so I'm not really sure. Well, I'm sure enough to know that Randy thinks he's right. I'm sure enough to know that Riley thinks he's right. However, if you use a tool incorrectly, you are going to get most likely messed up results. And those results are not going to be consistent with anything that you need them to be consistent with. So, but when it comes down to, especially when it comes down to, like I said, he was, or Conspiracy Cats was using this just to show that Mount Rainier across a plain is going to be viewed as taller than Mount St. Helens. The whole point of that whole thing. And every correct model that has been made, whether physical or digital, every correct model that's been made of that has shown that exact same result. Okay. And so now um, applying that to the Pikes Peak observation, you're going to have an issue because you don't have, this is using Mount St. Helens as a point of reference to where Mount Rainier would be. What you don't realize though is Pikes Peak is actually going to be, unless I'm mistaken, below eye level. Now I'm going to check that here in a second, but I think it is. And let's see. Yes, Riley sucks with scale. And oh, and by the way, I saw as I was coming in here, S2000 GT is grandfather. Everybody say congratulations to him if you haven't already. And so, um, I think we did eye level on this. Hold on. Yeah, here's the eye level line. Let me make sure that I'm not speaking out of turn on that. The drop across the curve. Yes. Pikes Peak is actually below eye level according to the curve. And there's a way you can test that too. I'll be showing you that when I do my 6680 test. And I challenge anybody to go out and do this test, because you will see that eye level is actually higher than the peak of Pikes Peak at that distance. So it's up to you guys, if you want to go out and test that. Now, it's my experience that flat earthers don't go out and test things. So, I guess it doesn't matter. They make photographs, and then they want to talk about, stupid parts of a photograph without taking in the whole picture, and then get mad at you for that. That's always fun. But, that's all I really want to say is that they're mixing the fact that conspiracy cats had discussed doing angular size, and they're applying this particular scenario to an Earth curve calculator, and it just doesn't work that way. Okay, that's using it incorrectly. You are putting in data that is not correct. Period. Okay, now if this was across water, and obviously you would have to put the the zero height in, which would be the MSL. Then you would have something to discuss. But you don't have anything to discuss if you are trying to do somebody's angular size measurement and applying it to a curve calculator, because it doesn't work that way. Like I said, you're putting in incorrect data, and therefore you're going to get an incorrect result. That's all it really is. So this and this, to include the video that I made with Riley the other night, I showed him exactly everything that he needed to know and everything that he needed to see. He was basically driving. You need to understand that. I was not. All I was doing was putting things where he told me to put them. And then, he had to duck out. Whether that was a legit thing or not, I don't know. I'm not going to make the assumption, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was actually Nathan on the other end. Or maybe even Ranty bitching him out. So, let's see. Get them to look at the graphics on Mick West's calculator. It allows for observer height of the calc. Yeah. But just because you can adjust the radius of the Earth in the Metabunk calculator doesn't mean you're doing that to account for eye level. It just doesn't work that, man. So let's see here. Let me just take a peek in the chat, because that was over kind of quickly. See what I got going on here. Was anybody looking for me to do anything with this this curve calculator, because with this model this evening? Because I mean, it's quite conclusive, and it's just numbers. I mean, it's lines. I mean, it's not that difficult to do, though. No, Rick, you can't moon the chat. When's the GFM going up? What is the GFM? I'm not familiar with the acronym. I can come up with about 1,000 things for that. What was the distance to... hey, Steve, you mean to Pikes Peak? What was the distance? Distance to Pikes Peak, I have in the model here, is 213 kilometers. Oh, GFN, the GoFundMe. I'm putting together the video for that. The request video that the little promo video. I'm putting that together. It'll probably be in about a week or two that I'm actually going to put that up. So, what's up, Playtime? I want you to 3D print it and bend it. Yeah, I'll work on that. I do have a 3D printer now, though. So, let's see. Man, Anthony, to demonstrate that manipulating heights on a sphere won't change the results. Well, you see, it's just coming up with different heights altogether is going to screw it up. And whether you're adding or subtracting and stuff like that, that's not misusing a tool is still misusing a tool. No matter what compensations that you've made for it. Like if you get a really small flathead, you can get it into the crosses of a cross tip screw, but it's not always going to work perfectly. I have most of a 3D printer. Okay. Let's see here. I bet you read the no. Oh, he's talking to Sean. Yeah, that would be a cool idea. Hit the like and subscribe button. That would be really nice. You know what? I never actually say that. It's kind of interesting. Just about every video I ever watch, um, regardless of subject matter, it's like, oh yeah, make sure you hit the likes and make sure you hit the subscribe and all this and get your bell on and all this and yeah, okay. I've never actually promoted myself that way, I guess. Once you've already been once you've already paid for the 3D printer, it's very expensive to use it to print stuff. No, actually it's not. Um I still have the test roll that came with it on the back of mine. I've probably only used about half of it, and now, mind you, my printer does not have a large print bed on it. Mine only goes um, I think it's 111 millimeters by 111 millimeters by 100 squared, and so I mean, it depends on what you're printing, I guess. Yeah, 3D prints are rarely solid. You have to tell it to do that. Um, I built a physical model of St. Helens and Rainier and got the same results as my 3D model. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, and like I said, you don't have to do with you don't have to get super complicated with it. And I don't know how it is that Super Rats keeps fucking it up, but hey, what do I know? Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Gio. I have to uh I have to actually create uh uh a cooler for the head for mine so that so I can print sharper angles with it. 4D printing is better. Yeah, I haven't gotten the fourth parameter in there yet. Well, actually, my Mika, I think the reason why Riley shows up to my um why he shows up to my chats is because of the fact that I got rid of Buddy Boy a long time ago, which is stated to have been him. So, Gail, geh mal zum Konrad. Das ist, wo ich meine her. Just 3D printing your time inside the bottle. All right. Well, like I said, I just wanted to point this out because it was clear to me what it was that was actually being discussed. Because everybody kept on talking about raising the eye level and all this other stuff, and I wasn't I wasn't 100% following what was being discussed. And so today I figured I'd take a look at those two videos, both of which calling me out in each one of them. Mind you, not the conspiracy cats one, but the one from Ranty and the one from Riley, and which I thought was funny because I really didn't have a dog in that fight at first, and but y'all just kind of drug me into it just so I could show you actually how you're supposed to be doing it. So, let's see. You had to build the fucker yourself, man. Mine came out the box. I mean, all I had to do was line up the plate, and that was it. That's true. It couldn't be a dog fight if there's no dogs, just pussies in it. All right. Well, that's all I was really going to roll with today. I just wanted to show that, and like I said, Randy said that I can. Well, actually, you know what? Let me just bring that up, just so it can't be said that. Well, I didn't say that to Sly. Let's see here. Comments. Come on. And then Ranty. Earth. So I don't have to go scrolling through all my shit here. And come on. Yes. Randy Flat Earth. This was a day ago. He says, I'll debate you on this. Tony hasn't got a clue. To which I responded when I finally saw it. Everybody else already jumped all over it. And I wrote on here, sure, Ranty, tonight, 2030. This was yesterday. And no answer ever came of it. So, go figure. And I replied to him so he would get the notification. But, either way. So, I wanted to talk to you about it, Ranty, but the other side of it is if you're not going to respond and if you're just going to run from it, then that's on you, buddy. So, well, thanks, Doof. I appreciate it. And I saw a second ago, thank you again, flat out. Really appreciate that. That's going to go into the pot for the bendy water experiment coming up. So, and I have a flat Earth question. If anybody would like to answer it below here, is there any reason? This is the question. Is there any reason why water level would not be level with water at rest? Okay. Is there any reason why water level would not remain level when at rest? And without any external influences, mind you, without wind or, just messing with things. So there you go, Baldy Cats. What do you call it? The answer is perspective. And like I said, that's going to play a part in my 6680 test. And no, it's not a trick question. Electrolysis. Oh, geez. Let's see. Tides. I would say within 5 meters. I don't think tides would really play much of a part. Angle of attack. Yes. So be sure to ask that to your favorite flat earther. Have them posted below my video here, and we'll because I'd like to compare those answers to the 6680 test, and like I said, the 6680 test, I also have one designed as far as the locations are concerned for the boys in the UK. I'm talking about Ranty, Riley, and never does anything, never really works on anything, never provides any proof of anything, never tests anything. Oakley. So, I designed a test for you, and it meets the exact same parameters as one that I'm doing, and I would love to see if you guys can do it. And I look forward to the excuses. I really do. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all I got for this evening. And what do you call it? Write it as a comment in the script. Yeah, I'll do that. And like I said, if anybody wants to model this stuff out for themselves, again, the software that you can get for free is called Gmax. It's owned by it's currently managed by a website called TurboSquid. And if you need any help putting together a model like this, if you haven't already learned something from the stuff that I've modeled out, you can feel free to drop any questions to me about it, and I'll and I'll gladly answer them for you. If you want to use something else like SketchUp, make sure you get on with Tommy Gronwald here. He's the one of the resident experts on that. We also have some guys here who are good with Blender, which is also free. There's no reason to. I'm just lucky to have this 3ds Max version, but you can accomplish all the same things in those bits of software as well. And yes, GeoStreba, his favorite GeoGebra, and he's like our resident master on that. And so swing by his site if you want to find out how to use that. Again, all 100% free stuff. This is not special entry stuff that only certain people have access to. So make sure that everybody, gets a chance to be able to do this stuff. And make sure you remind your favorite flat earther that they can do it as well. And then just watch as they spin around not doing it. So let's see. Dio says, or you can use my ray tracer to simulate everything. Oh yeah, and then so go ahead and check his out. Jeez, why is his name escaping me? Somebody write it in the chat. Who's got the Earth curve calculator, the graphic one? Why is his name escaping me? Somebody help me out here. That's it. Walter Bislin. Make sure you go by his site. He's got great stuff for calculating how much curvature you should see at a certain altitude. Also, as far as observational tools of showing you how much hidden height or objects should be hidden from a certain distance. It's great, man. It's really great. So there's all kinds of great stuff out there for you to use. Make sure you rub it in the face of your favorite flat earther, or give it as a recommendation to your favorite skeptic, and so they can actually test the stuff out for themselves. Okay. I don't expect anytime soon that Riley's going to use it, Ranty's going to use it, Jeranism's going to use it, Glowbusters are going to use it. I don't imagine D Marble's definitely not going to use it. So yes, press N. Thank you, dude. And there is no curve, says Mark Sargent, the original. Good luck with that. Okay. Good luck with that. And if anybody is looking into getting into surveying, there's apps out there for using somewhat of theodolite simulations on your cell phone. I almost called it handy, but most of you won't understand that. And but if you want to know anything about surveying or the tools associated with surveying or the calculations that are done with surveying, scroll up here. There's a guy in the chat here. His name is Jesse Kozlowski, and he's also got a lot of great stuff and a ton of great information. So yeah, so it's all good, man. Information's all around you. Go ahead and use it, and don't be afraid to show up your favorite flat earther. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gents, that's all I really had. Wait, what was that pivot around me? Oh, yes, I'm going to be getting with you, Crow XC. I have been one thing that has always kind of bugged me is and it's shown as one of the proofs of a globe. However, it's actually just proof of a sphere. It's geometrical proof of a sphere, and that's the big triangle, where you can have 390-degree corners on a single triangle, and at positions. And I'm trying to figure out exactly how to work this, but I have 3 points with three people, including yourself, who are at those 3 points of a possible triangle. I just got to figure out what observations to make that work. Um, but yeah, that's that, and basically, it's going to be interesting. But I just got to figure out what the observations are going to be, and then I will definitely be getting with you and the two other guys. All right, so that's gonna be fun because obviously there's no way in hell we're ever going to be shooting a laser 10,000 kilometers anywhere across the surface of the Earth, and we're definitely not going to be walking it with a compass, and so, or pulling a string that distance. So it has to be figured out exactly how I'm going to do that. So, but I will definitely be in touch with you on that. Let's see. Mike Bowl, yeah. Hey, Cherry Picker, how you doing? Um, so and if as a matter of fact, Mike Bowl, um, coincidentally, now you probably were not here at the beginning of this video, or at least I don't know if you were, but um, the what you need to check out of mine because you see Mike Bowl went in and he used clips of my videos when I was talking about Hilbonio back in the day, about yeah, about the west to east shadow of the eclipse. Now we all know this to be fact. We all know why it's fact. Mike Bowl seems to not get it. So perhaps you should watch those entire videos instead of just clipping out the parts you want to use, and then you'll be all right. Okay. 27.3 days according to your model. Why? Because that's how long it takes for the Earth to go, or the Moon to go around the Earth. Okay, as in return to a same spot above the Earth as it started. Okay, so it's always fun. Anyway, so when you watch those entire videos, see, you posted links on my site, and I will honestly show you that they landed in my spam, and they are, oops, let's see, comments. They are these in my spam. Two of them are yours, and they're going to die there. The reason why they're going to die there is because, man, don't just cherry pick stuff and come to my site like you got something. Okay, it just it don't work that way, man. Okay, so until you actually watch and acknowledge the entire video and the entire breadth of material that I did on that, okay, then you won't get it. And just so you also know that I did it all the way up to 80 to 1, as in 80 Earth rotations to one moon orbit, and it was still going from the shadow was still going from west to east. So I'll let you figure that out, bud. It's not up to me to hold your hand through that. I would have recommended those videos to you had you come to me with a question. However, you used those videos and said that and made some wild conclusions on it. So, as I pointed out to you below your videos. So, you go ahead and have fun with that, bud. And as long as you keep on trying to spam my channel with the links to your videos, if they end up in my spam, they're going to die there. So, all right. So, ladies and gents, that's all I got. And hold on a second here. Who is Mark Sargent the original? Go to channel. Who the fuck is this? He's a nobody. You see, because Mark Sargent himself is not blocked on my channel. So if this were actually Mark Sargent, which I'm not saying it's not, but if it were actually Mark Sargent, he could actually post on my channel with his actual account. So Mark Sargent, the imposter here, as it most likely is. Let's see. When's this? Yeah, this channel is this Mark Sargent, the original, is actually only original as of the 8th of November 2018. Sorry, but when you hide all your personal information, doesn't or your private channel information, doesn't mean you can't bring up the about section. So, ladies and gents, that's all I got, and I wish the rest of y'all a awesome Friday and a pleasant weekend. Y'all have a nice night.